Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. What's going on? I see there's some early birds already here. I knew Marty was coming. He already had sent me a text and said, I got to be there. I got to be there. James, what's up? Nice to see you. And you're right. Actually, I forgot to bring my notes, but you already got the stuff for me in chat. So, man, that's perfect. Um, the Egan that I got is a 46 ABV mixed malt, and you're right, marriage with the cognac and the XO cognac cask. So yes, that is correct. I've got it sitting right over my shoulder here. I didn't even sample it. Didn't even. Well, that's not true. Let me. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I did have a sample of it. Let me just clear my palate here real quick. Sorry, I was doing some stuff. Let me put this thing on silent. If not, as you know, when you don't want a phone call or you don't want a text, you want something, your phone always will alert you. But that being said, tonight, yep, we're going to go ahead and let me pull this thing down here real quick and we'll get right into it. We are going to review Egan's, the Conviction. It's a 10-year mixed malt Irish whiskey. And really, the box is a great presentation piece. So how I came across this, and I think I touched on it a bit yesterday when we were doing the stream with JD Bourbon Approach. Anyway, my wife and I were just out and about, and at Total Wine, they happened to open this up. Well, I've been interested in taking a sip on that, and like I said, it's pretty nice. It's got a little bit of history on it, and I'm like, yeah, I think I'd be interested in trying that. So, of course, they opened up a bottle, and I'm a firm believer. Try before you buy if you can. So, well, that's what I did, and picked up the bottle, and I'm like, well, this thing is better than I anticipated. I'm not saying that it was bad. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was bad or anything like that. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting a lot out of it. But however, for me, I was like, man, this is actually pretty darn good. So I tried it, asked if I could have another little sample, and they gave me a little sample, and I thought, well, you know what? The initial taste, let's say, I thought, man, this is pretty good. So yes, I went and picked it up. I do believe it was 65. Just because I go there a lot, they happen to have a coupon. I got their 15% off. So anyway, I got it for right around 55, tax everything out the door. Let's just say $60. So can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. I didn't think it was bad. I think it was a terrible price for a 10-year-old whiskey. So I said, what the heck? Let me give this thing a little bit of a whirl. But right now, I'm not drinking that. I'm just going to raise this up and say, hey, cheers, everybody. Doug, James, Marty, Sugar Kitty, Slapshot. Great to see you all here. Really appreciate you coming. Let me just have a little sip. And I'm finishing my Elijah Craig small batch. I poured this a little bit earlier, and I've just been sipping on it for a little bit. I'll cap it off here in a moment, and then we will get a fresh Glen, and I will go ahead and pour that Egan's. But cheers, everybody. Yeah, and I agree with you. Whoops. Yep. Cheers, Doug. I agree with you, James. It was a good price for what I got it for. I think you said, what was it, about 90 pounds, 90 euros? I forgot what you said. It's further up there. But yeah, I didn't think it was a bad price at all. So scalped you by $50. Oh, man. So, well, your tax rate and everything else, and it's over 40 ABV. So if you're anything like Ken, Scotch Down Under, you pay a higher price as you start to go north of that 40, right? If I'm wrong, sorry, but I think that's the way that works over there for you in the UK. But Let me just get a little sip of this. Man, that Elijah Craig. It's just a good pour. 94 proof. Nothing fancy. Let me crack this thing here as soon as I figure out. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know I saw it on here. I just passed it up. So let's open this thing. I'll pour it in a glass. Let it set a couple of minutes and just let it breathe. Let me pull that off. Last time I didn't do that. And the chances of you cutting yourself on that little bit of aluminum is slim to none. But guess what I did one time? Doing this, to open it up. It was just enough and it cut me a little bit. Damn thing. Not this, but it's a stubborn little cork. Hey, now that was a nice cork pop. So let's reach up here and just grab a Glen here. Here we go. Let's get a little pour in here. Let it open up a little bit. I'll put a cap on it. There we go. A little pour in there. Nice little color. Let's swirl it around a little bit. Take a look at the legs a bit and see what we got here. Well, I remember when I took the sip, I thought it was clean, and I thought that it had some nice viscosity on it. But let's just take a look here. Okay, we got some legs. They're not like they're in a hurry to go anywhere. They're nice, evenly spaced legs. I don't know if it'll focus in on that and you guys can catch it. Let me just kind of turn it a bit. Yep. I can see them on the reflection. I don't know if you guys can, but you can see the legs starting to come down there on the side. They're not bad. They're not in a hurry. So that means there's some oil. This is non-chill filtered, by the way. If I didn't mention that earlier, it's non-chill filtered. So that's a plus. So that viscosity is going to stay. And at 46 ABV, I would expect that to be. I cannot say, and if anybody knows, feel free to chime in there and chat. I don't know if they add color to this. It's non-chill filtered. I'm going to say probably not. It's not a rich, dark color as per se. Let me just, there's a bourbon right here. Here's the Irish whiskey. Whoops, sorry. Got to remember it's opposite. Move over, Anthony. It's opposite. I just even was telling myself that. So you could see the difference. Irish whiskey, or excuse me, bourbon, Irish whiskey. So anyway, I'm going to set this down here. Where's my little cap? I'm going to put a cap on that here for a moment, just to let it set for 5 minutes where I'm at 39. We'll go about a quarter till, and we'll take that first sip on there. Marty, I know you've been busy. Oh, hey, there's Bourbon Baller. What's up, man? Nice to see you. Hey, Andrew. Cheers, brother. Nice to see you here. Appreciate it. Hey, while you're all here, don't forget, hit that like button. It helps the channel out. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Because unfortunately, if you would like to comment and chat, in order to keep out the bots and the stuff that we don't want in chats, you have to subscribe. And then you can go ahead and comment on the chat. But there is a time requirement on there. So it'll tell you. And then after you've exceeded that time requirement, it will allow you to go ahead and post in chat on there. So please feel free, hit that like button. Let's get the channel recognized. And it was really a good flight last night. Those of you that were there and had joined in, I just thought that, man, that was nice of JD Bourbon Approach to do what he did and send me that flight. It was really good, and I was like, wow, I cannot believe Alberta Premium. Although I've said it at the beginning of that stream that I was a proofy bitch and I like proof. Not necessarily does that drive me. However, I do prefer some proof on there. You know, it's just me. And that was this little delicious sample right there. And I made sure I marked it up on there. So I didn't remember. And I also asked JD to send me the information because he had it on a Word doc. So he emailed to me, and it reminds me I got to go and check that. But I want to make sure I properly mark those sample bottles so I know what was what. And kind of shocking to me, they obtained the Polish rye. That wasn't my favorite. However, I commented that there was some kind of funk on that, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. And I noted it to the Campbelltown funk that you get from like Springbank. Okay. But that's the only thing that came to my head. But once he told me that particular one is no, excuse me, wasn't the Obtainium. Scratch that. I was looking the Obtainium light whiskey today, a bottle of mine. I'm like, oh, I got to get that. And so that was stuck on my head. Let me scratch that. That wasn't. That was the California one that is made Corbin's, some company out of California. So it's a local distillery for him. And it was grain to bottle. So they grow their grain, they distill it, they bottle it, and they send it out. Reminded me of the Frey Ranch. So I didn't like the Frey Ranch General Expressions. They're normal ones. I mean, they're good. If you like it, great. I just said there was something off-putting. When I tasted this, boom, that's what it was. It's just that grain to distilling to bottle. There's just something about it. But the store picks of the Frey Ranches I had in the straight bourbon and the rye have been amazing, delicious. And you know what? That funk, I call it, wasn't noticeable at all or barely noticeable. But the store picks in the Free Ranch were just great. Oh, hey, William, what's up, man? Nice to see you. And black boxes. Well, there. Hold up. You can't see, but this is from Sturgis in 2012. So that's what this is about on there. I just happened to reach in. That's what I pulled out, and I thought, today I'm going to color coordinate. Actually, I was going to grab either Livewire, Bourbon Battalion, one of Cheech's shirts that I got in there, Scotch Down Under. Got a few more, and I just didn't grab it. This is what came out today. So that's what you people have got. Oh, here you go. I said Springbank, and look at there. Whiskey knows he's going to tear into some Springbank Tane in about 20 minutes. I don't know why he's waiting 20 minutes, unless he just wants to let it open up, or he's just not close enough to it that he can grab that thing on there. But yeah, I've got my Springbank down here, but I thought, you know what? I'm not going to even go there, although I'd love to have some. I did have some peated stuff last night, and it was delicious. So what do we got there? Oh, okay. We got about another minute or so. Oh, yeah. You already twisted my arm, Marty. So after this pour and a little bit more, I probably will go down that road of Springbank. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. But let me just see what we got here a little bit on the nose of this. Oh, yeah. You definitely get the malt on this, that mixed malt on there, because anytime I nose a Scotch, I get that sweet bread. I call it like a banana bread, not necessarily banana, but that nice sweet smell. I mean, I could smell it all day long. It's really, really pleasant to me. And as soon as I popped this thing off and went to nose it, it was there. Getting vanilla, of course, on there on the nose. Just, yeah, a little bit of vanilla on there with that sweetness on there. There's some type of like a fruit, maybe. I can't quite put my hand on, but it's light. That's one thing I noticed about this. It was light on the palate and clean, but it had good viscosity, and that was like, oh man, that's pretty darn good. The Glenmorangie Cognac Cask finished is not too popular. Did you see reviews? You know what? No, I didn't. It popped up. You know, I'm part of his. I subscribe to him, so I get different information. I didn't watch many different videos today. I just had some errands to running around. And yeah, some are hitters, some are shitters. Like I say, you know, some really make the expression. Others It wasn't so good. Me, I kind of like the cognac ones. As a matter of fact, I cannot remember the cognac I tasted yesterday was a Total Wine. Uh, but it was pretty darn good. Um, Average price, and I don't know. I know they can get outrageously expensive, but I'm going to say 60 bucks, 50 bucks, and but wasn't bad. Was not bad at all. Oh, yeah. That Alberta premium. I'm going to really have to start going on. I was talking to my wife about that. I go, at 66 ABV, man, that was just phenomenal. I just love the caramel taste. The vanilla butterscotch is what it seemed like. Caramel butterscotch. Let me try to spit that out on that Alberta premium. The viscosity was beautiful. The finish was just right there. I mean, that's exactly what I like. And that spice was just pop, 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 pop. I mean, the way it just danced on your tongue, especially the sides, and the sweetness rolled. And like I said, this is all my opinion. Everybody's taste is subjective, but on that Alberta premium, um, maybe I'm going to might have to have a little pour of that sucker, but I'm going to do it sparingly until I know I have another bottle of that sucker. That's for sure. Um, okay. Sorry, I had to stop and read that because I saw the cherries first and I thought about what I said. I'm not sure what it is. Could be a cherries. I actually thought just for a moment, I get a lot of pear or light pear when I drink Scotch, depending upon what it is. But I just always seem to pick up pear notes. Don't ask me why. Cannot figure it out, but I just do on there. Okay, so let me get another nose on this because it's had a few minutes to sit in the glass. Oh yeah, yeah. This is a nice nose, nice sweetness to the nose. Like I said, because of that sweet bread or banana bread. I'm not getting the banana note, but that sweetness. And now that it's in my head, James, you might have just dialed me in a little bit, but it could be the power of your suggestion from there across the pond. But the force is strong with you tonight, apparently. Uh, Let me just say yes. I will go with a dark cherry, dark fruit, but it's light. Let me say it's light on the nose when it comes to that, but there's something there. So before I take a sip, I'm gonna take another sip of that water right now. Z-Man, what's up? Long time no talk to, man. How are you? Okay. Now that I've had a sip of that thing, let me just or that water because I was eating dinner just before this, and I just wasn't sure if this would have went with a steak dinner. I probably should have tried it, but I wanted to do a fresh pop so everyone sees what it's going to be like right out of the bottle. Pop that top. So let's take that sip. Mm. Damn, that is a good first pour. That is a good first pour. I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, on the palate, it's pleasing. The sweetness is there, the oiliness, there's viscosity to it. A little bit of that, I call it the rye spice. A little bit of spice, but it's not harsh. It's definitely not strong. I won't even say faint. It's just a little bit more than that, but it's very, very pleasant on the palate. The the viscosity is still there. The spice is still here right now. A few seconds into it. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's a long finish. No, but let me get another taste to it to now that my palate is acclimated to it, and that first sip is like, oh my gosh, that was really good. Oh yeah, always looking for subs. I always tell people, make sure you like and subscribe, share this, tell your friends to tune in, promote the channel, and we're going to just keep growing. And this is what we're going to do with the community. I like this type of dialogue where we all have an opportunity. I mean, I watch some of the bigger channels. I get dizzy watching the chat. So one good thing though, last night, because the chat was a little busy when Cheech was on, when you have good moderators and different people that are on there, the actual, what I call channel owner, can actually concentrate on other things while some of the other people in the chat are, I call, doing the legwork. And even in the chat, when certain things happen, the moderators come in and boom, 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 boom. And to me, that that just makes it, because I'd say I don't worry about it, especially when Sugar Kitty and someone like that is in the chat. I don't. Even Marty, they don't have a problem. Scott Pixley, people like that, they are on that thing like, but so it pays to have good people with you when you're doing this stuff. So let me get this next sip in here. Mm. Wow. This is something that I think, give it another week or so in the bottle. Um, this is going to open up nicely, but right now I can pour a couple of glasses of this and just sit back and drink this the rest of the night just the way it is. And I think it's fantastic. So if you guys can find this thing, I'd have no problem in telling you to go ahead and pick this thing up. I don't think that, well, I think this is a limited release. I forget what the one was before, but I did see it online because I was looking for this. I'm sorry, went out of focus because that's my fault. Um, but this thing it's a great 10-year-old whiskey at 46 ABV. I mean, really, this is a good Irish whiskey. My father will like this when I see him in a little bit. When I say a little bit, it'll be a few weeks, but I'm going to take a drive to Arizona and visit him for a little bit. I might have to take that with me and let him have that because he likes Irish whiskey. So, hey, what can I say? Aiden, what is up? Mr. Whiskey Shits is here. Holy smokes. Look at that. Man, oh day. Here he goes. Centennial, that's it. I knew it was something. I was thinking center, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to say that. It wasn't center, and I should know. Centennial Parkway for me is just down the street. There's a street that's here. But anyway, you think I would remember? No, I did not remember that. But thanks, Aiden. Let's see. I'm tasting a blend I tried with some of the Highland Park. Pumped it up with some for cask strength batch 2 and some grain whiskey. I'm happy. 2 days on with the results. Oh, okay. Well, so some of you may have heard Marty and I talk. We have blended different wild turkeys together, particularly the rare breed with the Kentucky Spirit. Huh. Oh, man. Get a little going there. Let that sit, swirl around. It is good. Really good. I mean, really good. Let's see. The 10-year and the 18 just got here. Okay, I haven't seen the 18, Aiden, but the guy who turned me on to this one at Total Wine, he and I have become good friends over the last year, and he tips me to certain things, particularly if he gets a taste before anybody else. So anyway, he told me, yeah, they have an 18 year. They don't have it yet, but they only get limited quantities of the 10. But when they get the 10, it's sold out. And he got 2 from last year, and he goes, it was amazing, and it just didn't move. So he picked up the last 2 that they had. I think he said 2, but he said last year's was as good, but it's just something they didn't know. Now they have the other line of Egan there, and I think it was vintage grain, and there was another one, and I'm sorry, it just popped out of my head, but I'm going to stop thinking about it because when I stop thinking about things, like that, it will come back to me. It will come back to me. Ah, yes, and plugging holes. Hey, if you are going to make yourself into a master blender, make sure you tell us, James, on exactly how it goes and what's what. And we have no problem in experimenting ourselves. We have a repertoire of stuff that we can do that with. See, I'm having some Lee Sinclair after work. People say it's too grainy. Can't say I agree. Case in point, everybody. He hears that people think it's one way. He's drinking it and he goes, he thinks it's fine. So taste is subjective. So that's one thing I say. I may say something is terrible. Well, to you, it may be perfect. And that's okay. I may say something's a definite hitter. You got to run out and buy it. You get yourself a bottle and you're like, it's all right. I don't think it's a hitter in my book. But, that's just the way that thing rolls. That's just the way it rolls. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm going to pick up another couple more bottles. Not maybe I might pick up another one of this, but in that particular distiller's selection, because if this one is as good, I can only imagine what's that vintage grain and the Fortitude is what I think it's called. It's not fortified. I think it's called Fortitude is the one. Non-age stated from what I remember, because I did go to the website today, but they didn't have this one on the website there on Egan's website in Ireland. I went to it just to see. They had the one Centennial before this one, but they didn't have this one on there yet. But neither here nor there. I've had a couple of Egans there. There's the vintage grain, the sherry finish, the 10, Centennial 18. One I've liked. Fairly sure it's sourced Bushmills. Wow. So Greg's Whiskey Guide, if you guys saw him, he did something and he was doing Irish whiskeys today. And one of the first ones he started out was the traditional Bushmills, and he likes it. He was happy with that. So if you guys want to see some more on Irish whiskey, go to Greg's Whiskey Guide and go over there and watch some of those videos, and you'll see. But like I said, I actually held some Bushmills in my hand today, and I thought, well, maybe I should add that to there. But you know what? I set it down and just like it's always there. It's not like it's going anywhere. So I'm always looking for something else. Really? You could be wrong? Please. Are you serious? You wrong? Well, it happens to the best of us, right, Egan? It happens to the best of us. That's for sure. Fortitude and vintage grain are both 8 years. Is it on the bottle? Because I didn't notice it, but I didn't take a minute and fully read it basically from top to bottom of the label. But that'd be great for me, an 8 year. I was hoping it was at least maybe 4 to 6 years. 6 years, I would have been happy with. 8 years, okay, we can get along with an 8 year on that. But I just didn't recall seeing it, on the bottle. And then when I looked at the website, I don't recall seeing it. But again, I was looking for information on the conviction, which I didn't find a lot out there other than different retailers that sell it, and they have their little paragraph spiel on it. It was pretty much a cut and paste thing. So I said, the heck with it. You have an Egan 17 single malt. There's peach in the finish. Really? Now that sounds interesting, to have a little peach in there. I mean, I like peach, so I wouldn't have a problem trying that. I'm just thinking, I just had a brief picture run through my head and go, I wonder if there was something from Egan's in there. When you go to like Total Wine, they have these cases and they got stuff behind the case. Not everything behind the case belongs behind the case, but they use other things to fill. So there was a Scarabus in there that I don't know why it was in there, but it just was. And it's been there for a while. But anyway, it's amongst the 18s, the 21s, the 25, the 30-year-old other scotches and stuff that they have in there that they keep locked up. But anyway, I thought maybe just for a second there, I might have seen something from them in their case, but no, now that I think about that, I didn't. Tops Liquor in Tempe if you got time. Oh, well, my dad's down in Yuma, so uh, I travel, and I used to go to Prescott a lot. So in Prescott, there's not Lee's, not is it Trevor's, Troy's down there. It's I mean, people line up there, particularly around the holidays, to get uh, the allocated stuff that they hoard all year, and then I mean, people fly in from places to go there and stand in line to hopefully get some of the allocated bottles, like the Pappy, the Elmer T. Lee, um, E.H. Taylor, stuff like that. I think it's Trevor's is down there, and I could be wrong, but I think it is. But yeah, I'm going to have to do that little jaunt, maybe here or there, then spend a night, and then finish my trek down into Yuma when I visit my father. Oh, okay. Nope. If you've got reliable sources, Aiden, I'm all for that. I am all for that. Let me get another sip of this Egan's too, because it's pretty darn good. Okay. Well, it's not on the wall. I didn't see it, but like I said, if I don't, if you sometimes if you really just don't sit there and study the bottle, it's easy to miss it. The bifocals don't focus. I'm more just looking at things on the label, but it couldn't be, like I said, I didn't see it on the site. But I mean, if you're just gonna, if you got it on, excuse me, good authority that's roughly, excuse me, 8 years old, I'll buy it, because I was hoping for at least 4 minimum, but 6 would have been fine for me. Really bright and tropical. Well, there you go. Ooh, 3 a.m. Yes, I didn't sleep much when I got off stream this morning. Kind of just lay down for maybe 4 hours and up and boom, starting the day. That's for sure. Okay, then you know what? Maybe I did see it in there. Now I'm second guessing myself for sure. Maybe there it was in their case. But it's funny. There's 20 plus year olds on the shelf, and some of the stuff, like I said, and they have the case that's locked up. It doesn't make sense. So who knows? Who knows? Yes, we all can't be everywhere, particularly when you have to drag your what out of bed. That's for sure. But let me get another sip of this stuff. I might actually, I might actually have to pour about 2 fingers of this in here and sip on that. However, I might finish this Elijah Craig, or just, matter of fact, let me switch caps. Let me put the cap on that. Marty wants some Springbank. Marty, did you go to that Springbank yet, or are you still trying to figure out where that box is? Hey, Mike, what's up, man? Cheers. We're just talking about this Egan 10-year, the conviction, and man, it turned out to be a nice drop for the price. If you got a Total Wine around you, I would go and take a look at that. And it's one of their partners, so you can get a sample of it if they have a bottle open. And I just asked them to open the bottle, and they're like, okay. So he took it to his manager, and his manager just said, oh, okay. And that was it. They opened the bottle and did what they did. And I was like, woohoo, this is great. Richie Z, man. Cheers, brother. Thanks for popping in. Hey, those of you that are popping in, don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, share this with your friends. Tell people about the channel. Tell them to come on over and visit. Participate in the chat. We want to have a good dialogue here. It's a just easy going. Sit back, have a drink. Let's just chat about some whiskey here. Let's see. This sourced single grain whiskey is okay. Now, Okay, so which one are you particularly referring to here? So I'm on the right page, Aiden. So Marty already poured it now. Okay, so let's see here. Copied from, oh, okay. So are you referring to the Fortitude, or are we still we jump back to the Conviction? Well, no, you wouldn't be talking about because it's 10 years. So the vintage grain, the Fortitude. Sorry. Okay, it was the vintage grain. Okay, I had to look down in the chat a second there so I can catch up. Sorry, Aiden. You know, I'm doing the best I can here, brother. I've only had one drink. Maybe on the third one I'll follow along a little better, you know. But that's just how that rolls. Just how that rolls. Okay, so minimum of 8 years. Good, good, good. See, I didn't see that on the Total Wine site, but I didn't specifically look that up on there. But again, I use that. I use another liquor store here. Just reviews from other YouTubers and so on and so forth. You know, I look at stuff like that, but you know, I spread it around. I spread it around, or at least I try to. At least I try to. Mm. I'm just telling you, this is a nice drop. This definitely is a nice drop. This Egan's Conviction is a good drop. I'm going to look forward to let this open up a little bit and really have a few of them on St. Patty's Day, because this thing is really, really nice. Really nice. That's for darn sure. I mean, it is really, really nice. So let me get my next sip of this thing down here, and let's see what else is going on in the chat here. Any other particular Irish whiskeys you all are gonna either purchase or have already that you plan on downing a few pours over the next few weeks? Well, actually, where are we at this week? Yeah, next week is St. Patty's Day. I just to figure out where we are. We're in March. My gosh, it's the 6th. So, heck yeah. So that is, oh yeah, week 17th. I had to think. Yeah, March 17th. Woo. Sorry, just a lot of things going on. I'm trying to remember. I'm like, oh my God, we're in March. Blah 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 blah. Anyway. Mm. Copper pot, Marty. Hmm. 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 So that's funny. I think I saw the Powers Irish whiskey out here. Um, it's not in a standard bottle. It's kind of a short bottle, Sugar Kitty, if I'm not mistaken. It's not a, let's put it this way, it's not a bottle like this. It's a smaller bottle on the lines of like a um, rare breed, short that way, round. But I think I did see that. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't see it. It's off screen, Richie. But you know what? Yeah, you cannot beat that Cask Strength 12-year on the Redbreast. That is a caramel butterscotch delicious delight when you're talking about that. Yeah, I got that. Now you're making me think and go, ah, I may have to have some of this too after that. And then some Springbank, and you know, there's just so many other places to go. Who knows? Who knows? Uh, I actually looked at that too. I haven't had to try that. What do you think about that, Mike? Or didn't you open it yet? Bought Delaware 12-year the other day, have not cracked it. Oh, okay. I was just going to say, okay, well, looking at that again, talking about that. I was, where'd we go to do? Oh, went to Liquor Lineup, and we're looking at some different things there, and tried that special release St. Patrick's Day from, was it Kentucky Owl? What is it, 100 proof? I tell you what, I was not disappointed. It was definitely better than I was anticipating. So I got to have a sip of it, and I'm like, man, that was pretty good. So I may actually go back and get some of that. Okay, then it might not have been the John Lane one, but like I said, I think I saw the powers in there. Like I said, it was a short bottle, kind of along the lines of the rare breed. Maybe it was red and white or blue and white on the label, kind of like powers in the or something like that in a round thing. But anyway, yeah, that's okay. But I think that's here. All right, twist my arm, Aiden. Let me finish this thing here, and I will pour some because I haven't had any of that in a few weeks. So get yours ready. Mm. Mm. It's just a good sipper. Sorry, I'm salivating from that. Yeah, that conviction it is definitely worth the price of admission that I paid, without a doubt. And if they send me another darn 15% off coupon, guess what? I may actually go down there and just pick up a backup on that, unless they have the 17 or something like that there, and I may grab that. It certainly is some delicious stuff. And let me grab that delicious stuff right now, since Aiden twisted my arm. Although I got to have a pour of that Springbank here in a bit for Marty, because I told him I would. Oh, look at this beautiful bottle right there. I mean, come on. Deliciousness. This stuff is just, it's down to the shoulder, so it's had some time to sit. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Haven't cracked it yet. I'm gonna have to probably add stuff like that. Get some Bushmills, so on and so forth, on the shelf back there, because I don't have any of that. Okay, here, that Kentucky Owl, 119. I could pick it up for. Total Wine was either 125 or 129, something like that, because they had it in the case. Oh man, me pour some of this delicious stuff in here. Oh, look at that. Oh God, what a nose on that too. I'm talking about the drink, not me. Just so you all know. Put that back on there. But oh gosh, that's good. Good. Okay, as you can see, yep, you got yours, I got mine. Bottle about half empty. Glad I got it back up. Yeah, you know what? It's hard to find. I mean, once it hits the shelf, it is just moving on. Hold on there. I gotta let this guy in here, because if not, who knows what the heck is gonna happen. Here he, boom. What's up, brother?
What up?
Man.
All right, I'm going lights out.
That's all right. I don't blame you. We don't want to have to look at you much, that's for sure.
Well, I'll give you a better view.
Oh, please. Please don't do it. If
I'll do it.
Get pulled over. Hey, are you heading home?
Yep.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. Let's watch the drive home as Bourbon heads back north to the wonderful state of New York.
I mean, besides the food, ain't much else wonderful. But
yeah. Hold on. You know what? I would have told you. Where did it's on here. It's on the bottle somewhere. Because someone asked me that before, and I can't remember where I got it off of. Hold on. What batch? Give me a second here. Oh my gosh, I can't read that.
What are you trying to read?
Which batch on my cask strength Redbreast? That's what I'm looking for.
It's on the box.
Yeah. No, it's B120. Sorry. It's just the way the light is in here and it's shining off the label. I just had to move it down to get a little shadow on it. Yeah. Batch number is B120. That's my batch number on here. If I could find that exact one again, I don't think I'd hesitate. Around here, they're about I'm going to say $89, $100 for Redbreast 12 cask strength is what I think I saw it for not too long ago. My wife picked me that up for Christmas. So, but that's
could have had my Redbreast on your stream last night.
What was that?
I said you could have had my Redbreast on your stream last night.
Well, we figured you were going to show them. You know, we
I did show for a little while, and then I passed out because I was exhausted.
Hey, well, you said you were. You had said that you were beat. We talked, for a minute here and there, and you said you don't know if you were going to be able to do it or not. But, dude, I appreciate you for even just coming on there for the short time you did, and really. I know it's been a tiring week.
When you drink from about 9:30 a.m. to 2 to 3 a.m. for like 6-7 days straight of barrel picks and unicorn pours, it takes a toll.
It does. But thank goodness you had the stamina to pull it off. Hanging AZ, cheers, man. What's up?
Now I've got about 600 miles left to go.
Oh, it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah, hey, Mike, it'll be 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah, I would not pay that in a heartbeat for that crap. So, I mean, not $224 with tax. Hard pass, I would have been laughing like Sean does from Whiskey Wars. When he sees it, just an outrageous price, he just starts laughing and says, really? And walks away. I mean, yeah. I thought about 100 and a quarter, 130. And when I talked to Jim from Pinch Hitter, he said, that's about normal. That's about retail. And I'm like, I kind of thought that was a bit on the high side, but I saw it today. I had it in my hand, for 119. So I'm like, okay. See there, drinking takes practice and dedication. That's right. Richie Z says 600 miles. Be safe, man.
Yeah, I'll get, like I said, 400 or 500 miles. I probably get fuel in another 100 miles. Just keep going.
Sugar Kitty said, what an awful burden. So it must have been with those unicorns.
I mean, you know what, though? When you have, the one thing I will say is I had so many back to back to back that they don't get to stand on their own. They don't get to be a super special pour. And, you're holding one unicorn against another, and it's like, it's amazing that I got to drink them all. But on the other hand, it's like, all right, so you're comparing them. It's not like, oh, I'm having a special pour for the night. I'm having company and I'm having a special pour. It's, it's let me have these, 15 bottles you're never going to taste again in a row.
Oh, exactly.
And you start comparing them like, oh, this one's good, but it's not as good as the last one. Or this one's better than that one, but I think there's really something to letting those special whiskeys stand on their own. I feel that was something I learned this week.
So did you get to the point where at a certain point of the night, you're like, you know what? My palate's just shot. Let's go get something to eat. Just let me get a pour that I know is good and sit here and just relax.
When we got to that point, we would usually just switch to water.
Yeah. Sugar Kitty said, "What? No super special pour? How awful." Pinch Hitter said, I spoke his name. He's here. He said, "Cheers."
Yeah. So I also went whiskey hunting, I'll call it, today, with Top Shelf Dustin.
No kidding. Wow.
Yep.
He took you to the high class joints?
Not only couldn't get a high class joint, but we got to get that boy some sun.
Well, he's in Ohio. I mean, you know.
A sun. We could do a GoFundMe for a sun lamp or a tanning session or something. But
yeah. Did you tell him? And he's like, "Holy smokes!" Did you say, I know I'm white, but come on. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he took me around to a couple places. I might have recorded him too. We'll see what happens. Why are you hitting your brakes in front of me? Well, you.
Yeah, that's right. You tell him. He has no idea there's a New Yorker behind him.
Well, when you're doing 85 and the guy in front of you just stomps on his brakes.
For no reason? I got you.
Exactly. Absolutely no reason. Nobody in front of him. Nothing.
Yeah.
No squirrel, no cops, no other car.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Aiden, you are right. You're absolutely right, Aiden. Butterscotch deliciousness.
So I actually, since you're Scotch neophyte, I'll talk about the one Scotch I bought today.
Uh-oh.
And it's a, I hope not a Band-Aids and Hate Scotch, but I think it will be. But it was on clearance.
Send it to me. Send it to me if it is. I don't care if you've had 3 or 4 pours out of it. Just send it my way.
It's the Game of Thrones Lagavulin.
I got it. It's right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 30 something. Yeah, it was like $30-something.
Dude, you bought more than 3?
I bought one.
You bought one?
I got to drop off of here. I'm getting a call from home. I'll bother you in a bit.
All right, talk to you. I don't find that Lagavulin Game of Thrones, Band-Aids, and Hate. However, if he didn't like the Offerman and he thought that was Band-Aid and Hate, that's traditional Lagavulin profile between the 8, the 9, the 11, 16, the 12, the Stiller's edition. I mean, that's Lagavulin. I don't get that. I got the Band-Aid and Hate part out of the Ardbeg Pirate. That's the one I wanted to drag my tongue across the damn floor and trying to get the taste off. And a half hour later, I was still getting iodines and Band-Aid. But now I think that my palate has grown enough that I'm drinking Port Charlotte. I'm drinking all of the Lagavulin, and I'm not having a problem. And I've got the Ardbeg Anoa. I've got the Ardbeg 10 right here. So yeah, I just don't think that now that's going to be a problem. But if he doesn't want that, he can definitely send that one to me, and I will take care of it appropriately. So when he replays this, I'll tell you, Ben, I will take care of it appropriately. If you don't like it, send it to me. I will handle it for you. But, that's what friends do. We just don't let them suffer like that, right? Exactly. Oh, wait a minute. He can just drop that off as he runs by me on Route 80. You'll be a quick drop. Oh, see how you are, Sugar Kitty? Well, that's nice of you. So you're going to take it from him so you can send it to me? Empty, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. Mm-hmm. You know what? I don't get any of that on the Offerman Top Shelf. Like I said, I think my palate has adjusted enough. Yeah, and he may not get that, but to me, I get the same profile in the 8, the 9, the 11, the 16. It's just a nice rounded peat smoke in Lagavulin. It pretty much is the same to me as I move back and forth. What changes is the ABV, but I think he'll do okay. I don't know. If he doesn't like it, like Sugar Kitty said, he'd be happy to take it off his hands for him and then mail it to me empty. That's for sure. You know, oh my gosh, Marty, you must have been reading my mind today or something like that. So I was actually looking at that, and my wife has talked about different T-shirts, not so much for this, but for her school and the connection. So I may do that with the row of outhouses or the porta potties, and is it a hitter or a shitter? It's funny you should say that, because I was thinking about that today. I really was thinking about that today. Exactly, Hanging Easy. I will treat that with the utmost respect and dignity that anyone has ever seen. I will make sure it is properly disposed of. Guaranteed. I already figured that one out, Sugar Kitty. I figured if I got anything out of that bottle, it would just be the bottle and the tube with the note. If in the bottle saying, if you can get that out, you can get the liquid. Okay, the 8 punches right through the 16, because the 8 is that 50. The 8 is 48 ABV, and the 16 is 43. So it's definite. It just definitely punches through that. So it. But to me, the 16 is the quintessential. I love it. I just wish it was at 46 ABV instead of 43. That's my only gripe on the Lagavulin 16. Yes, he does. And I just think he needs to. I really think he needs to try. And I don't know if he has, where's it at? Is this one it? Yeah. Let me see. Okay. Something like this that I got from High West that's finished in peated Scotch barrels, this double rye. It's a limited release. Picked it up at Total Wine a little while back. This is the bottle that started me back towards peat, because when I got this bottle, I didn't think the peat notes would be as pronounced as they are, and they were. And I'm like, well, this isn't bad, because it's a rye, so there was really a lot of sweetness in there, and I enjoyed it. And so that kind of got me back on the tracks and heading down for some peat. So we'll have to see. Got the New American Batch 8 and 14-year-old. Yes, and just not going to see that here, that's for sure. We're not fighting over it. We're just trying to help Ben. If he finds that he doesn't like it, to dispose of it properly. We are concerned, Jim. We are concerned. Oh, gosh. Just trying to catch up on the chat, and I'm laughing. It helps to have those connections, Sugar Kitty. It just helps to have those connections. That is for sure. Well, you know what? Maybe you should have given him a couple that you would consider lightly peated, or something good entry level to so he can start taking those steps to work his way up there. I think that Scarabus I picked up for $35 would be a good entry level, not age stated, but it's got a lot of flavor. And to me, I don't think it's heavily peated, but it has a nice peat smoke, the way it just wraps everything together. I think it's a nice combination. Well, Lafroig is a totally different beast compared to Ardbeg or Lagavulin. That's for sure. I do not own any Lafroig yet. However, I am interested in adding the lore, the 10, something along those lines to my collection. See, Bourbon says, I want to know what Dustin thinks about the Spring Bank 11. Did you hear that, Dustin? Okay. Bourbon, he said it's pretty good, a bit thin on the mouthfeel. I'll do it versus the regular 10 later. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. He was not going to make it. Sugar Kitty's already planning it. Tell you what, them cats are vindictive. They will strike at a moment's notice. They have no problem with it. Or maybe not, since I just poured an Old Carter. Well, looky here, looky here. What's up, man? Cheers, Jeffrey. Cheers. Those of you that just popped in, remember, hit that like button, man. Really appreciate that. That really helps us get going and get notice here. But yeah, this Redbreast cast strength is a perfect drop, Aiden. I think that they hit that right. I mean, I just love the nose on this, and I still get that a little bit of that sweetness. I talk about that banana bread note. Like I said, not banana, but that sweet smell you get out of that, and that butterscotch caramel is fantastic. Hmm. Hmm. Oh man, sorry. Again, it's just so good. Your mouth salivates for that next sip, and that finish on it is just, it's really, really, really good. Man, Jeff, if you're available, why don't you pop on and chat for a bit? You know, Old Carter, get some Redbreast cast strength. We don't discriminate here, just so you know. We don't. How do you think Sugar Kitty feels at night? That's right. He has to watch. Oh, look at this crap here. Look at this here. What's up, Storytime and Mr. Long? Cheers. You know, they're all talking about Old Carter, Shane. Oh, he probably has a case. Really? Come on. Man, I say it every time I drink Redbreast cast strength. It's just delicious. It is just delicious. I mean, I could just sit there and literally just sip, just for that wonderful nosing and the sweetness. It's just like, oh God. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Wear real shoes. Yeah, well, I would know. I've not seen Old Carter out here in Vegas ever. Thanks, Richie Z. So hold on. We have to bring this guy on because you just never know what in the hell's going to happen. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Storytime himself.
What's up, dude?
Man? What's up? How are you?
What's that?
How are you?
Man, I'm amazing. Are you kidding me? I'm hanging out with you.
Dude, you know, I'm living the dream that is Whiskey Tube.
Hey, I may or may not have had my first Springbank today.
What? May or may not have. You can't remember? Well, you're getting older, Shane.
It was a lot of Springbank, so I may or may not have. No, I remember. Yeah, I had Springbank 12 cask strength today. It was really good.
I haven't had that yet, but again, through my newfound Scotch circles, people have said, hey, if you come a chance to either have a pour of it or find a bottle, they feel that I would not be disappointed.
You want to see a cool bottle I'm getting ready to gift to Will Davilar?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all want to see. Hold on. Oh, my gosh. I was actually looking. I don't know if it was Riptide, but I was looking at those today or yesterday at Total
Look at
Wine.
that proof on that bad boy.
I can't quite see it. Is it 65?
65.5. That's 131 on a 12-year single cask Highland Park.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Bam. Here we
What's
go.
up, Top Shelf douchebag?
I heard Springbank, and I said, you know what? This man's not good enough for Springbank. He'll let this
wrong.
the shit.
I only got like this much. I didn't get much of it.
Good to see you, Shane. Good to see you.
You too, buddy.
All you guys.
Have you seen this one
Good to
before,
see you,
Dustin?
man. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, look at that
I think we
shit.
got Grandpa Stahl hanging around too. Yeah, there he is. Holy crap.
Is
Cheers,
that batch
Mr.
7
Stahl.
or 8? That'd be
Hold on.
8.
Let me get you in there.
I hate you right now.
Just picked it up today.
Oh, that is 8. Look at there.
And I'm comparing it to this one. You've probably got 7 of these sitting around.
Batch 1?
Yep.
No, I wish I did.
Batch 1 blows this thing away to the point where it's almost embarrassing.
That's kind of what I heard from another person who tried it and said it wasn't as good as the 4, 5, and 6 that they'd had. And I'm like, well, that's disappointing.
So, I bought this because it's got the 14-year age statement. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I question if there's any bourbon in this.
Oh, you go. Okay.
Because that's what made the batch 1 that I had so good, was that they used a little bit of MGP bourbon, a lot of white whiskey, and it just was magic.
Well, I mean, I've got a blend that you can do, and it gets really damn close to his Americans. And it's, what is it? It's, say, 2 ounces of bourbon, 2 ounces of light whiskey, and 1 ounce of a wheater bourbon, all cask strength. Freaking right there with it.
Hold
What's
on, let
that?
me get you highlighted.
Yeah, so this is what Bourbon brought me. Well, this is one of the things Bourbon brought me today.
Nice.
This is an independent bottle, which is not quite focusing here, but that was bottled in 2005.
Damn.
When Bourbon says he finds dusty, he finds dusty.
Yeah, he ain't. Seriously though, have you seen this one before, Dustin? Have you seen this? That Riptide?
Yes, that's the California, I believe, regional release of those single barrel Highland Parks.
Okay.
I've not had that one. I've heard that one is pretty good. I have the Ohio release, which is not as well thought of, and quite frankly, not amazing for the price. Also, Riptides were a lot cheaper. Those are like $175.
I paid like $140 for it, I think.
Oh, great price on that then, yeah.
Yeah, I thought a 12-year at 131 proof at a 12-year is got to be, and being a single cask, it's got to be kind of cool.
You're also talking about one of maybe the 10 or so most prestigious distilleries in Scotland too.
Yeah.
Like they get premium pricing.
Oh, there you go,
Marty.
That's some good shit right there. The old Carter smells like it should be good. It really does.
That's a shame, man. I hate to hear that.
Like, well, here's the thing, though. It's like, so actually, I'm going to do something real quick. There's somewhere over here.
Oh, hold on there. Hold on. I thought that was friggin' purple.
Oh, nice. Well, Heritage. Was that batch 1 or 2?
2019, so it'll be batch 2, I think.
Yeah, the batch 2, I got one of those. I mean, it's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. But the batch 1 was like noticeably like wow, and that batch 2,
magical.
Yeah, the batch 2 is just like, oh, this is really nice Jack. So this right here, 11-year MGP from Jay Mattingly, and this
Is that a
one-
weeder?
No, this is light whiskey. MGP,
Okay.
11-year. This is about the most average, mediocre light whiskey I've got. That's
Okay.
MGP. It's not bad.
Right.
Not bad. Good whiskey. Some Jay Mattingly's are mind-blowingly good, but it's just light whiskey. So I'm going to compare the two to see what happens. I'm hoping this old Carter is better because let me tell you, I can get these Mattingly's for a lot less money. A lot less money.
Yeah, Ben's driving and trying to talk to us in chat, so we're probably going to get some really cool chats from him.
Oh,
He's
believe me.
using talk to text, so don't you change anything, Ben. You just send whatever it turns up. You just
That's
send
right.
it.
We
wanna
know
see
it's
that
you.
funny shit.
Yeah, I sent Ben with a couple of decent samples on his way home. I'm hoping he'll like find one that he likes. Hoping, you know, he might not.
Oh, he'll like it.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
this is, I got a really cool story
these were
about
the
this.
American whiskeys I gave him. So hopefully
Oh,
he finds
nice.
one that's good.
Dude, that King of Kentucky, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a batch 1 4-gate. That's the Chateau Labaud. That's the Chateau Labaud from Bardstown.
Yep.
That's the Old Carter KY01. No, sorry, no, that's the batch 1 American. And
Batch
that's
1 American, yeah.
And that Smoke Wagon is one of the 1 of 10 series. That was barrel 3.
Okay.
So I'm hoping he likes one of those. And then I sent him with a few scotches.
Man.
So the story on this thing.
Yeah.
I go into a liquor store. It's sitting behind a glass door. Bad sign number 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I walk up to the front there. I'm like, man, that freaking, because they were asking $2.99 for it. I'm like, ooh. I said, that is really expensive. I said, I know that's an older bottle, but that still seems really, really high. And the girl goes, well, hey, you can ask the lady. She's kind of the manager. Maybe she can help you out. I'm like, all right, I'll ask her. So I tell her the same thing. I'm like, hey, that just seems really high to me. And she looks up the system. She goes, oh yeah, that's only supposed to be $1.99. I don't know why it's marked $2.99. So she took $100 off. It's still overpriced, but I don't have the heritage. You'll probably almost never see it unless someone just happens to have it sitting in a museum at $2.99. People are going to walk by it.
Yeah.
But I figured that wasn't a bad deal. Seems
That's
that
not
was
bad. I got lucky up. So Mike, I do the videos with, his boss is a huge bourbon guy. And he found that online at like Ace Spirits when batch 2 came out.
Okay.
And he buys every bottle they'll sell him. So he got like 6 of them. And I mentioned, yeah, I really wanted to get a hold of one of those. And he goes, okay, cool. He goes, yeah, I think I paid like $89 for it. Just PayPal me. I'll have one for you next time you're up in town. It's like, oh, cool.
Wow.
Can't
I
beat that.
mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he knows what they're worth, but he's also a guy who's gotten 2 bottles of King of Kentucky himself and has tried every bottle I have.
Yeah.
So he's always there to help out, which is the beautiful part about this community.
Oh,
Everybody here knows, that they can make a few bucks, and they'll only make a few bucks if it's like, okay, I'd be stupid not to. If it's just a couple bucks, people are like, man, let's just help somebody else out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what's been your latest pickup there, Anthony?
That's the one that I just picked up and just did a quick review on, and it turned out to be pretty darn good.
I did see 3 bottles of Dark Arts at a place.
Black Art?
Black Art, that's it. $700.
Who?
Nope.
And then I saw,
Unless it's 4.1, in which case maybe.
I don't know what it was. You know what? I have a picture of it. Maybe I can see it. The other thing they had is they had the Octomore 10, 10.2 and 10.4. How would you know which one it is?
It should say on there,
It's
actually.
right on the bottle. 10.2.
Well, all I've got's a picture of the 10.
It should say on the 10.
Let's see.
It'll be 10.1, 2, 3.
No, he's talking about black art right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Black Art. I saw
Yeah.
a bottle of that today.
Oh no, it'll tell you the year was distilled. That'll tell us what's the distillation year.
Oh shit! I didn't get a very good picture of that. It was on top too. I want to say it was 2000. Was it 5 maybe?
No,
2009.
because those are usually like between 23 and 30-year-old whiskeys. So.
Oh really?
Yeah. I mean, like you're not getting ripped off with the prices on those per se, but you can definitely do better than $700 on a new bottle. Like, the reality is high-end Scotch right now. If you're gonna buy it in the UK. I mean, I hate to be like the guy who's like, hey, avoid paying all the taxes in America and don't help out your local stores. But at the same time, if I can get it for $400 in the UK, $300 is a lot of money, man.
True story.
I'm the first guy who's like, man, I'll pay an extra $20, $30, $50 even to buy it locally and help out the local stores I want to support. But $300, sorry guys.
Yeah.
And I've told like the local stores, and one guy said, hey, here's my cost, man. You want it? Yeah. Okay. You're close enough now. He goes, it's collecting dust up there right now. He goes, I'd rather have the cash to buy something else. So you want it?
Right on.
Yeah, that was it. Right
I
place,
gotta
right
say,
time.
man, this Old Carter versus this Mattingly, I don't know which one I like better. They're different. But yeah, I'm kind of sad. Like this Mattingly's got a lot of nice stuff going on. I like it's younger, but it's like a little sweeter.
I picked up a Coy Hill Jr. today, Chauffeur Jack Daniels Barrel Proof. Chauffeur. Is that a store pick? Store pick. That's what I bet you that's what he said. Store pick.
Yeah.
Jack Daniels Barrel Proof. Yeah, those things are, but dude, Coy Hill. Wow. That is a mind blower.
I need to try one of those.
You know what, though, Shane? I've got a sample. Adriana and Nick gave it to me. I thought it was good, and I think it's 35, 36. Hold on. Where is it? Right here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
39. Sorry, 39.6.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think it was like, I mean, I'm not knocking it, but I just didn't blow my socks off.
Yeah.
Single barrels, though, man. I mean, like that's unfortunately is the reality.
Yep.
Another thing is when you have a sample, because we all do this, man. You pour your whiskey, right? You try it, doesn't hit you that day, but it's the bottle you've got. You come back 2 days later, you go, oh, like I poured the A122 when I got it. Had 2 pours the first night. I thought it was the worst Elijah Craig barrel proof they put out in a while. I was very disappointed. Poured it 2 nights later, and I went, oh, okay. There's something here. It's getting better. 2 nights later after that, poured it again. Oh, man, this is classic ECBP A batch. It's good. It's not the best I've had, but it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Exactly. I agree with you on that. I mean, it happens. Case in point, when I poured my first Disco 5, I wanted to run my tongue across the carpet to get that taste out. Threw it back on the shelf. I haven't touched it in 6 months. I went back and did a revisit of it. And I was like, what did I pour? And I looked at the bottle and I looked at the glass and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing has improved over the last 6 months. That minerality had just dropped in that bottle because I forced myself to drink it to the shoulder when I hit it in the back of this shelf up here.
Force yourself.
But I actually have had a couple of pours since I had done that revisit. And I'm like, pleasantly surprised that now I'm going to drink it. I am not going to add another one to the shelf, but I was like, well, okay. And they're still all over here. The Disco 5. Yeah, they're all over here. No 6 is Infusion 6 or Discovery 6, and 7's out. I haven't seen that at all.
Yeah, the distillery sent me a bottle of the Fusion 6 as a apology for their cork failing on me, which was a class act. I mean, all the way from them. They also sent me a new cork.
Oh, nice.
Which, it's funny is I had an issue with a box from a Scotch distillery. Sorry, don't have more boxes. 6 months later, released the exact same whiskey again. The New Year's whiskey, same exact box. Didn't say, hey, by the way, we also made a few extra boxes. Sorry for your issue. No. Mike has been trying for like 4 years to get somebody at Glenmorangie to respond to him because he wants a new cork for his 25 that failed. So props to Bardstown, man. Good. At the very least, they care about their customers.
Oh yeah.
That's more than what Kentucky Owl does. That whole the batch twos. Yeah.
I didn't bother emailing
them extra. What's that?
I didn't bother emailing them about my batch too, because that was comical. I went to open that thing in the store because I was going to pour it for the employees and some people that were drinking there because we did some store picks with them. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hey, you guys, how much you guys want for the Kentucky Owl batch 2? And the guy goes, man, our cost is $160. You want it? Done.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He goes, that son of a bitch has been sitting there for like 2-3 years. He goes, I want it out the door.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, cool. And then I go to open it. I'm like, I did not try. I did barely twist it. What the hell? And then I did like this thing, like where you kind of see how dry rotted it is. You kind of finger it a little bit. It was just all disintegrating. It was like, nah, that cork is messed up.
Yep. Yeah, I haven't even opened my batch 2 because when I got it back home, I started looking at it and you can just see where it's like stuck to the glass side. You can just tell it's effed.
Yeah, it's not even that issue. It's the fact that it dry rots. It's so dry that it disintegrates. Ugh.
That has a really lousy cork then.
Yeah. I tell you what, I mean, I know others haven't jumped in, but I think the best relative to other competition that Old Carter does is the rye. Because for me, their rye, the couple ones I've had versus the couple of owls I've had, Old Carter was way better. Maybe I just had the wrong batches of both, or the right batch of Old Carter and the wrong batch of Owl, but like I had
which batches of the Owl have you had?
So I've had 2 and I had 4, I think. And then I had the only Old Carter I'm remembering now is I know for sure I had 3, but I can't remember what other Old Carter. I've had 2 Old Carter ryes. The 3 was good.
Batch 7 is unbelievable on the rye of Old Carter.
I almost bought the Old Carter batch 3 rye. The only problem was I just spent like $700 that day, and I was like, I'm back. I had that in a tasting, and I was like, damn, I get why people are paying $200 for that thing.
Yeah, batch 7's pretty damn good. But I'll be legit honest with you when we get that 16-year released here in a couple of weeks, hopefully. Holy shit, dude.
16-year.
It's a 16-year rye that's been double oaked. So double barrel. What's that?
From Old Carter? Or?
No, from Storytime.
Oh.
Well, Backbone's the one who.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got something coming there.
Is that the next thing Storytime's thinking about putting out, or is there something that's going to be?
Yeah. So right now we're waiting on final approval from TTB on the label. The label it's sick, dude. It's Nolan's been a real pleasure to work with, and this is going to be something that Backbone will do annually. They're going to do a hazmat release every year, and they're going to call it Old Dragon Bones.
Nice.
So he's going to try to do it. He's got to get the barrels for it, of course, but
access, yeah.
That's what he's going to try to do. So we created a whole marketing idea behind it. That was my idea to call it Old Dragon Bones, and then Chris did the artwork for the label, and then I found this company. Well, actually, it's 2 artists in Italy that handcrafted these little dragon skulls that are going to hang around the neck of 15 of them. And then those are going to go in a special box with 2 special rocks glasses with stuff on it. Those are going to be our special release version. And there's, like I said, there's only going to be 15 of those. And those are going to be pretty pricey, but that's because it's got a lot of shit going on there. And then the bottle itself, it's just going to be with the label on it. And it's still going to hazmat 16-year-old rye. It's like, holy crap.
Now, is it, how do I put this?
Ben tried it.
is it Canadian rye where it's
It
actually a
is.
light whiskey, so that they call rye because it's Canadian?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it is a Canadian barrel for sure.
Yeah, because that's I don't want to say they're lying there because I don't think that's the correct term, but the legality of what is and isn't rye is different when it comes from that. I think I forget all the details, but-
The mash bill meets the criteria. There's no doubt.
Okay.
So it is over 51% rye. I think it's like, I want to say it was like 86 or 88 rye, something like that. It was real high.
Yeah, but can you? The question is, I guess, can you is the entry proof rules on rye same as bourbon in the U.S.?
Yes, 125.
But that's Canadian, so they can put it in at a higher proof.
No, still went in at 125.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was one thing that I was digging into because I was like, okay, yeah, if they put it in at 160, does it really qualify? Well, no, it actually went in at 125, and then this was one that when we went to go taste the barrel, I'm drilling in the side of the barrel, it's standing up vertically. I'm getting down to like the bottom third before I got anything to come out, like right to the bottom band, not the one at the very edge, but the last. I drilled 3 holes before I got anything to come out. So these were heavily evaporated barrels.
Mm-hmm.
And they were double barreled. So you got a nice toasty oak. And there's kind of a creamy vanilla. Actually, Ben, he just tasted it this week. So I haven't tasted it for a month and a half or so. So he's going to have to speak to what he got on it when he was just there at Backbone, and Nolan let him try some of it while they were there. Damn delicious, I can tell you that.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm thinking like the Rare Perfection, like the 14 and 15 that came out. Those drink more like light whiskey to me than rye. I mean, they're just. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say they're bad because that's probably going too far, but they're not. They definitely don't drink like a rye to me.
Yeah, probably a real high corn content, probably like a barrel legal type of a thing.
Yeah, I mean, and they also didn't drink like they were well aged.
Yeah, rye. I mean, so rye is typically for me, what I've found is you get around 8 to 10, and that's kind of really the sweet spot. They start going, for me, a lot of them that I've had that have been over 10 start going real oaky, real tanniny. Just I can't deal with it. But the Canadian ones do a little bit better. The climate's a little colder up there, so they don't get as much of the oak, if you will.
Yeah.
So I like that.
So there's a special place in my heart for old rye. Just a quick little story. So this was back I just was out of college, and I was working on this project where I got overtime every week. And so every week I spent my overtime on a bottle of whiskey, which was about 100 extra, like in my pocket bucks. Nothing crazy. So one night I'm in the store and they've got Kentucky Vintage, which is bottled by Willett back in the day. The bourbons were incredible, and they had a 23-year-old rye for $90. And I'm like, made an extra $100. Let me get a freaking, $90 rye. That thing at the time for me, like at 23 or whatever, was the greatest whiskey I'd ever tasted. It was so good. So I don't know if it was just me at 23, didn't know anything, but man, every time I think back to that, I'm like, oh, I've had a 23-year-old rye. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. We've got a line on, and actually I've got a bottle, and Letta got a bottle of some 9-year-old MGP rye that a guy picked from Backbone as well. It's about $90 a bottle, and oh my God, is it really good too? It's kind of amazing. I got to get another bottle of it. It's that freaking good. Ben.
Yo.
What's up, big sexy?
Let's see. What does that say?
It says 90 miles an hour. It looks like you're driving a Chrysler product.
I'm not. I'm driving a Subaru.
Why does that cluster look like a freaking Chrysler cluster?
I don't know.
That's crazy. Is that the same car you drove to my house?
Of course it is.
Oh, my God. You're going to run that thing till the wheels fall off, aren't you?
It hit 220,000 miles on this trip, and I'm still 500 miles from home.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, my
love
first
it.
car, I sold it at 290,000 miles.
Wow.
It's a Subaru. This thing doesn't give a damn.
That's obviously. So Ben, what was your tasting notes, man, on that rye?
Well, I'll start it off. What I told you is the same thing. You had sent me a sample of it, and what came out of the barrel this weekend, or this past week, was better than the sample. So it's even still getting better. Sweet, not. I mean, it's hazmat, but it still doesn't. It's still not. It doesn't burn like hazmat, and it was sweet. And happiness and sunshine and rainbows
and unicorns and gotcha.
Unicorns fucking,
Oh, that's level. Well, there goes your monetization, by the way.
Do unicorns jizz rainbows? Is that here?
Jizz
rainbows. Apparently.
Beautiful. You tasted every color of the rainbow.
Every single one.
Anthony's like, I got to get these guys off. I'm going to get banned.
This is going downhill very quickly.
Ironically, I am headed down about a 20-degree incline right now. Where the hell am I? 76 to 80.
Jeez.
Ooh,
yeah, so really excited about getting those out because, man, I tell you, that's one I've really – it's going to be an expensive one. And so even though, I'm owner of Storytime along with Chris, I still got to pay for those fucking models. Oh, they're going to be expensive.
I would seriously start talking about dumping it. I mean, it could get better, I guess, but
no, we already had. I had that conversation with Nolan this weekend. After you were there, we talked, and he asked. I said, "Get it dumped now because I don't want it to over oak. With it being that high proof, it's going to break down those oak tannins a lot quicker than a normal whiskey.
If it warms up again.
Yeah, so I was like,
and I think they proved it. I think it came out at 145 something.
Okay, there's one that's 144.9 or something like that, and then last time we checked it, and then one was 145, 146 ish.
Right. So I don't know which one it was, but damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait, man.
So how bad?
Holy shit!
And I had the Jepsons 1 and 3 last night also.
And 3 just beat the brakes off of it, didn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, three is a stellar bottle. 3 is a stellar barrel. 1 is you got to be in the mood for it. 4. It's interesting.
Yeah, it plays with you. You've got to sit there and take your time with it for sure.
I mean,
or I'll be really honest, it makes a hell of a freaking old fashioned.
I believe it, and the reason I think of that is, on my first sip of it, I thought it was a rye.
Yep. Okay.
It's got rye notes to it, but it's got a bourbon, high rye bourbon nose.
Yeah.
But like that, I could see Storytime 1. I could see Adriana throwing it across the room.
I don't know about that.
That is the highest praise a rye whiskey can get for a rye whiskey geek.
That's right.
Yeah. Does Bourbon like it? Yes. Does Adriana hate it? Yes. Perfect. That's what I want.
Except for Mixer's Toasted.
By the way,
the one bourbon one rye she likes. Not bougie at all.
Toasting definitely adds a different profile to anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm real curious. I picked up when I was out recording and hunting with Dustin today. We what do you call it? I picked up a down home toasted rye and a down home toasted bourbon, which those are MGP, non-age stated, both toasted.
Yeah.
Toasted 95.5, and I'm not sure which bourbon mash. But yeah, that one.
Yep.
How is that?
Oh, that's exactly.
Well, is that the bourbon or the rye? That looks like the bourbon.
I've got the bourbon down there too.
Oh, that's the rye. That's what you got dead on. That's the batch 2 rye.
Yeah.
So how does that compare to Michter's
pick? So
how's it compared to Michter's toasted?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're different.
They're different. Definitely different.
Does it get that sweetness like the Michter's?
Yeah, I don't think this is as sweet as the Michter's. The Michter's gets a little more marshmallowy than this.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with him. Like I was kind of mentioned you, Ben.
I'm looking for
the owner of Down Home.
There's not a lot of toasted rice out there.
What was that, Dustin?
The owner of Down Home, the guy who runs it, is a really good guy. I interact. So he's on a Facebook group I'm on. I told everybody who would listen to me that the batch 2 12-year they put out at the time was one of the best bourbons that had been put out in years. It really was. The batch 1 was good too, but the batch 2 just killed it. That was before everybody and their mother had Barton, like 12 to 15-year-old whiskey showing up.
Yeah.
We were actually, I think, they were the first one I ever saw. And they beat everybody by through the punch, and wow.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talked to him, he messaged me on Facebook. Hey, man,
I'll be right back.
I appreciate the positive thought. You want to try some more of our stuff? And I was like, what's the deal with your 6-year? And he goes, oh, my God, we got fucked. He goes, I didn't know anything about whiskey at the time. I didn't know what I was paying for those Heaven Hill barrels. And he goes, yeah, we had to charge $90 for that bottle, basically, because that's what Heaven Hill made us pay for their sourced whiskey. And I was like, and he sent it to me, and I was like, dude, you bought Heaven Hill bottled and bond 6-year at cask strength. He goes, yeah. I was like, it's $15 still. Times have changed. It's hard to get now, but a great guy. He's really, really good person. Really wants to help out the community, wants to be a part of stuff. We've talked about doing a pick with him, by the way. And one thing he'd be really down with is if you get a pick with him, he wants like proceeds to go to charity if you can. So always looking out for like good cause.
The Down Home guy does?
Yeah.
Oh, so Ben, this is the one. If you remember when I was driving back and I called you, and I told you I'd found this. I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Vaguely. Didn't I say I heard good things?
Yep. I mean, they were kind of expensive, but I think it was worth it. It was in the right price range for me.
The ones I picked up today were around $70.
Yeah, the rye was a little bit more. I want to say it was around 90.
I think Liquor Barn, actually. If you got it at a Liquor Barn, I think they sell it a little higher.
Yeah, I think that's where I did get it, was Liquor Barn. Yep.
What's going on, everybody?
If you're not in Louisville.
How you doing?
Is shit.
Yeah.
Live.
Have you guys had the anyone had the High Country from High West?
Is that the malt?
Yeah,
like single malt. Yeah, I've had a sample of it, but not like a full
What'd you think?
bottle. I mean, it's a single malt. I'm not a huge American single malt fan, so I'm probably not.
What are you,
going to ask,
communist?
What?
You like vodka or something? You communist?
Well, I like bourbon.
Oh, okay. You just said American single malt. I thought you had something specifically against American single malt.
No, it's single malts in general.
Yeah. The American single malt, the problem it's got is it's still a little young for most distilleries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, Balcone is, if you get access to some of those like limited releases they put out, man, some of those are good.
Most of them are
Hey,
Texas
Snowman?
only, I believe.
I'm drinking a 3-year-old single malt from America that's delicious. So
My guess is Nick Proman can get you a bottle of that High Country.
Oh, I ran into it for $85. I just was like, no.
Mm.
$85
Yeah,
for single malt.
it's one of those I want to try before I pull the trigger on it.
Exactly. That's kind of where I was. Now, I did run into a Stranahan single barrel at Total Wine. And I had
Did
it.
you run
I was
into
gonna
it
get
forwards
then I
or
threw it back.
backwards?
Hey, Renee. Come here a second.
Did you run into it from the front or the back?
Dude, I went to town on it. I can't go into details, or otherwise we'll get kicked off of YouTube, and I'm not trying to do that to Anthony's.
That's right. This is a somewhat respectable channel. I mean, somewhat. I let all you on, so I don't have too many scruples. But
I question your.
It's like somewhere between Cheech
anybody
and
else want to jump on?
Yeah. So Anthony, how was that Irish? I missed the opening.
Honestly, it's a hitter. It's not a shitter. I liked it. I think it's definitely worth the money at like $65, and I had a coupon for Total Wine, so I got another 15% off. So I paid less than 60 out the door. So let's just say $60 out the door for a 10-year-old. It was really good. Give it a few days here in the bottle, like we were talking earlier. This thing I think is really gonna.
What's going on there, Ben?
Dropping down from 80 to a 30-mile-an-hour curve here. That's all. Not much.
And all Ben's bottles go flying across the car.
Whee!
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking it at 50 still, but whatever.
It's fun with Ben following you because Ben likes to drive. You can tell he likes to drive. Nice. Reasonable speed limit. And then I was like, "Oh fuck!" It's hate to tell you, Ben, we're about to cross 4 lanes here, and then we're gonna do it again in like 2 minutes. And then I saw the New Jersey, New Yorker just come out, and he's just like, "Oh, we're doing this. All right, I know how to weave in and out of traffic."
That's right. That's right.
And I was looking back, and I was like, "He's been on the New Jersey Parkway. I've been there too." Let me tell you, that's a lot scarier than what I just did. So we're good.
Prick Nolan says he likes the high country way better than the crappy American. Well, the American Prairie by itself is crappy, but the finished American Prairies are pretty damn tasty. Some of them.
I think malt in general.
That one that we had in
Let's
our
finish.
blind last week was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, the Macman.
Yeah, or whatever the heck that was.
Mm-hmm. I've got that one, and it is freaking good.
I mean, that's a horrible comparison. American Prairie is a terrible bourbon versus a single malt that we don't even know what the grain was.
There's prairie grass.
You're talking about a terrible $30, $25 bourbon, like young and flavorless and hot, and that's why it takes That's why it
Sounds
takes
like an old
two
girlfriend of mine.
finishings. Yeah, back in the day. But that's why it takes to finishing so much, because it's still got that youth, and it's still, it's anyway.
Bourbon likes to be finished on.
Only by you earlier, Dustin.
Just like Shane's ex-girlfriend. Okay. I'm just taking notes over here. Nothing else. Just go back.
So you're talking about the American Prairie. So I have that, and you're right. If it's not a limited or a special, like this one here is finished in a port barrel. This one's okay. This one's okay. I don't have much left in that, but
I have American Prairie finished in Scotch. It's okay. Kind of weird.
The standard one in this was not. It was a store pick, so it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything fabulous. But I got this from Liquor World out here.
Yeah,
and,
Jim, I picked up a bottle Jim might inherit from me if I don't like it, and I'd say there's a coin flip on me not liking it.
Is that the Lagavulin?
No, well, there's that one too, but that I probably would keep on the shelf.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it is I got the Chattanooga triple Scotch cask finish.
Oh,
That
interesting.
one's so good. I was drinking that last night.
Is it?
Yeah, it's good.
But I don't know what my palate will think about it.
It has this like kind of red pepper note.
The only Chattanooga I've had was I had a sample of the a 111 cask from Kilco.
That's right, Mike. That American Prairie was my favorite.
But yeah, this is the first time I've ever had this, and
Holy
frankly,
smokes. Trev, what's
I
up?
hope that the current batches are as good as this old one, because this stuff is
Trev?
fantastic.
What's
Dude,
up, nerd?
That's such a good bottle, Jim. I love those.
Bottle September 8, 2014. This is
Oh.
McCarthy's Oregon single malt, which is pot distilled whiskey. Distilled from a fermented mash of peat malted Scottish barley, barrel aged 3 years, and bottled by Clear Creek Distillery, who are owned by Hood River, who don't own Pendleton anymore, but they still produce it.
Yeah. So Jim, talk to.
This is some weird shit.
You're on the Whiskcord. Talk to Christina if you're interested in McCarthy's. She is great people, and she has access to single barrels at cask strength from them.
Wow.
Now and then, they're not always available, and they're under $100.
So what was I saying?
What is this?
I don't remember.
It was something like,
Yeah, I've only got like 6 hours more driving to do. I mean, I don't know why I'm yawning.
I don't either.
Yeah, if you gotta take a nap on the side of the road, take a nap on the side of the road.
Yeah, that happens.
I remember when I first moved to Ohio, I more than once actually pulled over and took a nap when I was trying to move back and forth by myself. It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
So are you on the final stretch, Ben?
I mean, if you consider the whole week the stretch, yes.
I didn't know if you were stopping somewhere.
No, I'm trying to get home tonight. We'll see if I make it. I am, for anyone who knows, I am on 76 eastbound. I've turned east from heading north, and I am passing the gigantic Goodyear plant on my right.
Rubber.
How many Ohio stores did you hit up on your way out of here, Ben?
Ohio, only 2.
Okay.
COVID positive deer may be harboring the virus. Headline.
Send them to Russia.
Yeah. We're just gonna start putting face masks on all of them.
Can we Fabergé them first before we send them?
Of course.
But yeah, so Anthony, if you like Lagavulin, and Dustin may disagree with me, try this, because this reminds me a lot of Lagavulin.
There is no
It's not
way.
quite as smoky as Lagavulin, but it's got a lot of similar notes to it.
I haven't had it in so long. In fact, I haven't had one for a while, so I can't comment on the last comment there. But Anthony, you'll love that whiskey.
I haven't seen it out here.
Yeah, but Dustin, I hit almost every one of those stores you never hit.
I'm sure you have. I'll be honest, Ben. I quit hitting Ohio stores a while back. I don't want to give my money to freaking Ohio.
Well, I mean, you saw what I found. I did find something quite interesting.
Well, Mike and I had a conversation literally today where I was like, dude, I guarantee you there are purple boxes all over Ohio still. And he goes, I haven't seen one in a while, man. And I'm like, Mike, there are purple boxes. I guarantee it. I'm just not hunting. And he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I don't think we're going to find 93s because that's what you want. But there's going to be purple boxes. And I'm like, you're trying to get trade bait. They're out there. And he's like, I don't know. And then I was also like, but by the way, I think Ohio's going to 400, which apparently it did. The price you quoted was like $40 more than it was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, Jesus.
Purple boxes?
So Mcallen 18.
Oh.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So Mcallen 18, for those who are watching, you don't know much, is one of those like really sought after, highly acclaimed scotches. And in the UK, they still sell out instantly. But people who love Mcallen, back when I believe it was Remy owned them, which was like they used the most amazing barrels. They were like the highest quality casks you could get. And then they got bought by Edgerton, who's lower the quality. And So generally speaking, like you look for bottles from like 94 and past. Nice live wire glass.
Where'd you find that at?
I got it sent to me in the mail.
Man,
Right.
that's special.
I think man, live wire is big, man. They're everywhere now.
Dude. They're going to be the next Apple, I think.
Exactly. And by that we mean the apples with worms that fall off your tree, but still.
Right.
Now passing Summit Racing Equipment.
Oh,
But
hey,
yeah, so but then like between like 94 and like 98, they were still in purple boxes, and those, depending on the year, are still worth a stupid amount of money. And then there's the new stuff. So people who chase Mcallen, it's crazy. And the thing is, if you're into Scotch and you want to trade with somebody who is an investor, Scotch investor, if you can get Mcallen's, they will often trade you really good whiskeys for somewhat fair prices for those Mcallen's, because they know Mcallen's are appreciating really fast, whereas other really good whiskeys are not appreciating as fast. Think of it as the Stitzel Weller of Scotch. It's not quite that, but it's close.
There you go, Mike. Yeah, I haven't. I've only seen them in other people's hands.
They're relatively a unicorn themselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They are much rarer than George T. Stagg.
Oh, yes. And if you get one with George T. Stagg in it, look out.
Dude.
And you know what? If you can't get one with George T. Stagg still in it, but it had some the last night and they want to send it to you, it probably will still be incredible when you get it.
That's right.
Ooh.
Even if Mr. Whiskey shit's backwashed in it.
Hey,
It's
if
so
you
probably
get that in
really
it,
good.
it's even triple the price.
Selling that shit on eBay.
You gotta respond to that one.
$5,000.
That's right. By the way, this will be up on eBay later if anybody's interested.
There you go.
It
Yeah,
might
except the story time used.
say it's depreciated in value since you've used it.
Don't forget, we got to go to Livewire here in about 20 minutes or so. So
I'm around all you heathens, but this to me is still one of the best bourbons that's been released.
Which
so
one
Kelvin
is that? Hold
Collab
up,
is
hold up.
so deliciously good.
Which one is
Batch
that?
one.
Oh,
Batch
that's the
one.
batch
Yep,
one.
I got that, and it is good. So is batch 2.
I have
Whoa.
heard the batch 4 tastes.
Batch 6.
Kelvin. Yes. Batch 2 is that weird. I can still get you batch 2s, by the way. if
Oh,
you
I
want.
got one. Outer Loop Orbit.
Yeah.
That's right up there with Barrel Armida. It is a wild freaking ride.
I was over at Jason's house right when batch 2, a little after batch 2 came out, and he goes, "Hey, you want to try this?" And I went, "I'm not sure if I do want to try it, Jason. Can I smell it first?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure. I'm good." I get it.
It's good. It's unique. It's like seagrass, right? To me, it's
Okay. I haven't had seagrass, so I can't comment on that one.
it's good on its own, but the fact that they call it a rye to me is blasphemy. It's not a rye. It's some other fucking form of something.
Well, I think
It's
I
good.
think they called that a bourbon. The 4-gate
No,
batch. 2.
seagrass is a rye.
No, 4-gate batch 2.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying it's like that in that they call, it's this
Yeah.
thing that's really its own. It's like its own cocktail.
So I can't remember which one of the owners. There's two guys who own 4-gate. And I can't remember which one we were talking to, but I was talking with one of them, with Jason and Scotty. And so we were talking about that batch 2, and he's like, the funny thing is, among industry people, men generally didn't like that whiskey, but the women loved it. He goes, I don't know what it is, but he goes, the women in the industry really gravitate towards that, and men for some reason don't. And he goes, it's so consistent. And then there's 4 of us guys, and we're all like, I'm not into it.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I figured.
I like it, but I'll only drink 1 dram at a time. Like, I'm not going to sit there and keep pouring. I'll have one. I'm like, oh, wow, that was really cool. My palate's like all fucked up right now, so that's cool. And then I'll go drink something that's a more stabilizer,
Yeah.
I mean, it is good. There's all these weird flavors happening in there, and you gotta take your time with it and kind of let it. It's light and refreshing. It does remind me of grass. It's kind of got that airy earthiness to it, if you will. I like it, but I'm just not. I mean, I've had it for a year now, and there's probably that much out of my bottle.
Yeah, it's available, so that's all good.
And I've got batch 1.
Well, they only made one batch of that one.
No.
Oh, you're talking seagrass now, or are you talking?
Seagrass. Yeah, seagrass.
I'm thinking 4-gate in my head. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no. The outer loop orbit, I've only got like 3 drams out of it.
Okay.
Same thing though. It's way weird, and same thing. That's why it's kind of a comparison.
So, have you had the old Carter Kentucky whiskey batch 1?
The KY one?
Batch 2.
The one KY or whatever?
No. Not American whiskey, but Kentucky whiskey.
No.
It's a whole different series of their style of whiskey. Okay.
So
I had a bottle of that. It was the weirdest stuff I've ever had. Unfortunately, I had 3 bottles break when I moved here.
Ooh.
One was that old Carter. That sucks. One was another old Carter, but there wasn't much in there, so it didn't matter too much. And then the third one I thought was my almost empty bottle. I thought it was this bottle. Turns out it wasn't this bottle. It was an unopened bottle of batch 1.
Oh, damn it. Of course it was.
Yeah. And and so the mover broke it, and he felt terrible. And the thing is, I assumed it was this bottle, and he's like, "Hey, man, look, what do we have to do to make this right?" And I was like, "Man, look, I know there's a risk. You guys probably weren't even supposed to ship 1,000 bottles of whiskey here." I'm like, "It's okay." He goes, "No, man, I broke stuff. I did it, and the way I did it was dumb too." He goes, I shouldn't have broken that." He goes, "What would they cost? What would it cost you to replace those?" And I'm like, and because I didn't really realize what was broken, I was like, "Man, let's just call it $350, I guess." Not knowing I had to replace a freaking 4-gate batch 1.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Full bottle. Actually, I bought one the next day.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah. Thankfully, there was a store here that bought cases, and they were not moving, and so I went there and bought 2 more. Oh, sorry, I bought 1. Then I came back the next day, made sure the black lady who works there, who cares about the 1 per customer thing, wasn't there. I bought another one. But I got lucky. But I was just like, all right. And then when I really discovered, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe one of freaking, what is this? I forget that this is about 1,000 bottle batch. I'm like, oh my God, one just got destroyed like that. Oh.
Yep. I the one I don't have, and I've heard a lot of people rave about the Kelvin Collab 3, which is batch 12.
Do you want one?
What's that?
You want one?
I do.
I'll call my dad and see if he can get one for you.
Okay.
I saw one less than 3 weeks ago in a store, so I'll see if it's available.
So my favorite out of the ones I've got is the Ruby Rye Springs, the Kelvin Collabs, and the first split stave that I've got, which is the toasted and charred split stave.
Those are still around too.
Yeah, that one's really good as well.
So you didn't think Eagle's Nest or whatever it's called is epic? The $300 10 plus 2 deal.
What is it?
It was like Eagle something. It was 10 plus.
Oh,
2.
the Eagle Thief.
Yeah. Sorry, Eagle Thief.
It was outstanding. Not worth the money to me.
I saw one of those. So I know a store that had that one. They had the Kelvin Collab 3 batch 12, which I almost bought for myself, but I was like, I can't stop spending this kind of stupid money on backups of backups. And then they still have splits. They had the first split stave still. And the first split stave is only like $175, which is affordable compared.
And I love that. That's a really good bottle.
I had a bar pour that one. I enjoyed it, but to me that was like $110 bottle.
Yeah. Price.
You had the Boo Rye yet?
What is it?
Boo Rye.
I haven't.
It's like batch 17. It's like the last one.
Oh, I've seen that one. I asked Jason Mash and Drum about it, and he said probably a pass. And I mean, he knows my profile, so it's not bad. It's just he knows my profile pretty well. We've drank enough together, and he said, "I've heard they're supposed to put out a brandy finished one, like or a cognac finished one that's coming out. It was supposed to be around Christmas." And Jason's like, "Dude, when that comes out, buy." And I keep looking, I haven't seen it.
So Richie Z asked a really good question. You guys should all weigh in on that if any of you have had it. I will tell you, Richie, for me, no, I don't think it belongs in any top of anything because it's so comes at you from such a different direction. I just don't like it, it's good. It's something you've got to really play with to get it. So to me, to say it's a top whiskey of 2021, I don't know how anyone could categorize that. Is it good? Yeah, but is it top? Oh my God, I could come up with 30.
I don't think it.
bottles
I
of that.
really like Seagrass. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, I bought the 16. So, yeah, no, it's not the top whiskey of the year because you think of those top whiskey of the year. It's like, what's the most pleasing of like everybody, and that I think Seagrass was probably the most divisive.
Oh yeah,
You
It's
either
one of
liked
those-
it or you hated it. Like,
I wasn't a fan of the 16 on the Seagrass. I got a taste of it. It wasn't terrible, but I don't think it's 250 good.
Did you see that
No,
they're
it's
releasing
not.
a 20-year
Well,
one as well?
standard
It's going to be
good.
hazmat.
What's
They're
that?
releasing a 20-year Seagrass. It's going to be hazmat.
I won't buy it.
How about the standard Seagrass, Anthony? Because I think that's what Richie's talking about.
It was okay. I think I would pick that over the 16.
Okay.
And that was
For
only
price
about,
and everything, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
$89.
Jim
But
Bourbon.
then you also have to take in consideration with the 16, they
I haven't had
completely changed the blend. Like it was a blend of 3 ryes. Was it Kentucky?
Did you notice? Did you guys all notice that 16 dropped right after everyone announced that was their top whiskey of 2021? Or
Oh, wow.
if you go back and look,
Yeah.
when everyone was putting out their lists and Seagrass was on there, it wasn't a week later they announced the 16-year-old was coming.
I didn't pay attention to that. No.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little odd. I don't know if there's anything to it, but it sure seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in the cast for like 8 months. So clearly it was in planning. They just released it probably.
Yeah, but it could have been rushed. I think to his point.
Well,
Potentially.
yeah, I mean,
I thought
just
it was
seems
questionable.
fishy.
Them
It was
going
awful
from-
convenient that Fred Minnick announced it. Who else had it in their top? Fred Minnick was the big one. They put it at number 2, and it wasn't like a week or two after
Minnick.
Fred announced it
Ooh.
that then they released the marketing spiel for 16.
Well,
So they
it
knew
also-
it was coming, but
Fred's also one of those guys who's involved in the industry where he may have known about that coming ahead of time. And so I don't want to go down the conspiracy theory route here, but one thing I noticed this year with a lot of people commenting on whiskey reviewers, and when I talk whiskey reviewers, I'm really not talking about Whiskey Tube because really there's 3 or 4 whiskey tubers that have any influence at all. And, we're talking almost minimal. The real world is, the print world, the people who are involved in some of these, magazines and
You're talking like
those
Whiskey
things.
Advocate.
Whiskey Advocate, or I mean, there's a couple bloggers from back in the day, especially in the Scotch world, that have incredible disproportionate clout that really matter. And one thing I've noticed a lot of people criticizing the reviewer group of is, you guys have had 10,000, 50,000 whiskeys. You're bored. And so when something comes along that is unique and crazy, you love it because it's unique and crazy, and you don't realize that it's not what the normal person who wants epic whiskey even wants. You just are like so bored with you've had 10,000 whiskeys. You just want something different.
I definitely call Seagrass last year like my connoisseur's whiskey of the year. Like if you've had everything and you've drank everything and you were like, okay, I want something fucking weird. Like,
Yeah, but I
that
think
was it.
connoisseur and reviewer, like there's a gap because I mean a lot of people are connoisseurs who have 2 drinks a week. They've had it for 20 years and they just really like
Yeah.
it.
I'm talking more the people who have like,
6
you know,
bottles.
I'm talking to people who have like 100 or 200 or 300 bottles in their collection, and they're like, okay, I've had everything.
Yeah, but I'm
Why
thinking
do
like
I?
again, I mean the reviewers have had 10,000 like for example, Surge on Whiskey Fillin', he has over 10,000 reviews of whiskey.
If you're getting into ryes, like just starting to get into ryes, and somebody hands you seagrass for the first time, you're probably not going to like it.
Yeah.
It's not a
Mhm.
traditional rye. And I wouldn't give somebody who's never had a rye seagrass.
Well, I mean, I would give that to somebody who wants to try it. I would say this is weird whiskey. I wouldn't even tell them what it is. And from what I've heard, I haven't had that particular one, but I understand the whole weird whiskey.
Well, guys, I got to step out for a bit. I got to get some things done, but I will probably see you over at Livewire Whiskey.
Oh, we guarantee
Yeah,
you we'll
to
see
me,
us
I
over.
feel like it's a little dishonest when you say something like Seagrass is whiskey of the year. To me, it's a little dishonest. Like, how do you? Because it misleads people. I think. I don't think it's a genuine, because it's number one, it's crazy finish. Crazy finish.
But I mean, whiskeys are all.
I have an actual question to this, and I think it's food for thought. If they named Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Bourbon of the Year, would you have the same thought?
I would, yes.
Okay. I'm just saying, I think it's interesting to bring to the conversation.
Well,
That's not something that's off profile. That's something super delicious. It's also triple finished.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think it's a little dishonest because it's.
Well, wait. Let me pause for a second here. Apologies, Shane, but so Bourbon changed the wording you used. You said whiskey of the year. Bourbon said bourbon of the year.
Yeah.
No, well, I meant whiskey of the year, but let's say they mean
But
either way.
Because the reason I go there is because when I say bourbon of the year, there is a inherent view that when you say bourbon, it's generally not finished.
Right.
Where when you say whiskey, you're saying let's go crazy. We can do whatever we want. So I just
he said, yeah.
I just want to put it out there. So I mean, Shane can comment.
All right. So even if it was whiskey of the year.
Well, yeah, I think we should differentiate style because bourbon people don't think finished. Where you say whiskey, you say, hey man, you do whatever you want, just make it whiskey.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
I think it's dishonest because now if they categorize it best finished whiskey of the year, I'd like to see him say that, and then I would challenge that and say, okay, go get Chateau de la Baude or go get the Cigar Blend or go get one of those.
Well, Chateau de la Baude was 3 years ago, though.
I know. But it was on nobody's list. It wasn't on anybody important's big list,
No, I'm not important, but it was on my list.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm just
saying.
Well,
let's take Cigar Blend. Did Cigar Blend even make anybody's top of the year?
Well, yeah, but here's the problem
because there's so many batches.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like the problem with
matter.
So many batches, and they're all different.
Yeah.
Same
with Seagrass.
If anybody thinks these big, influencers, we'll call them,
they made more than
aren't getting paid for those lists, you're out to lunch.
They made more than 800 bottles of Seagrass, though. I mean, keep in mind, Magnus Cigar Blend is a single barrel product, actually.
I didn't hear you, Ben. I'm sorry, Ben. You were saying something there about what now?
Magnus Cigar Blend is not a single barrel product. It's a blended product.
It's batched.
It's both.
And it's batched.
No, it's both. It's both.
A couple thousand bottles. No, it isn't. It's never a single barrel. Never.
Ben, listen. Here's why it's both. It's multiple barrels of bourbon blended, but they're all finished in the same Armagnac cask.
No, they're not. They're all blended. They're all aged in separate casks, and then they're blended into a batch. There's a lot more to a batch than a single barrel of Magnus Cigar Blend.
So you're right about this. There's been a couple series that Nancy did that were blended from Armagnac, but the majority of batches that have come out actually were from a single Armagnac cask.
No, they're all triple finished. That's where the whole they're
No,
Armagnac, cognac, and something else.
No. So what Nancy does is she blends bourbon from different.
Are you the same one who told me she didn't blend like batch 30 to 60 or something like that?
That was Ludwig.
Oh, okay, yeah. Nancy herself said that was wrong.
I've had this conversation with Nancy. I've actually had this conversation with Nancy. So first off, there's not triple finishing here going on at all. She uses some of the regular Joseph Magnus in her initial blend of bourbons that she puts into the Armagnac cask. The Armagnac cask is the only actual finishing on the final product of that. There's a bourbon that goes in. So again, she's doing bourbon. And so at any given time, Nancy has about 18 casks of Armagnac. No, I'm sorry. No, let me check. I think it's 16. She said she might go to 18. I give or take a couple numbers here. Now, there's been a couple where she blended some of those back together, and there was about a 30 bottle series that she did that with, or 15. I could be wrong. When she first started doing barrels, it's the final product is the finished in the Armagnac, and she'll continue adding bourbon to those to balance it out as she goes with that single Armagnac cask. And Armagnac casks are huge, man. They're big casks. And there's no angel share because they're only in there for a year. And she's adding whiskey to balance as she goes. So it's a blend and it's a single cask, if that makes sense. So, and mind you, I've literally been like back and forth with Nancy talking about some of this. But I think, again, each group of batches she releases can be different because she has like a certain number of barrels she curates at a given time, and she's talked about it. She's like, look, I'm almost at my capacity. She goes, I might add 2 more barrels. It's never getting bigger than that. I just can't do it. So
I think Nancy should jump on and.
It's a nuanced difference, I think, when we're talking about here.
I think you're right, Mike. Where is she?
Nuances.
Where is she?
I'm surprised because honestly, when you say the words cigar blend, Nancy usually shows up.
Yes.
She's like Beetlejuice.
Probably in chat right now. She's just laughing, going, you guys are so far off in left field. It's only 4 barrels.
Dude, I kid you not. I literally wrote on like a freaking like website like that has like no views, a review of one of her cigar blends. And I'm telling you, I had like 6 likes. The 7th like was Nancy Fraley, and she's like responding to me, and like she had to have taken 20 minutes to respond. I mean, this freaking book she wrote is amazing. I love that woman.
Check that out, Stahl.
Dang, look at you, son.
Sexy.
Apparently those are in pretty high demand.
Yeah. We had to change the logo because apparently doing a completely round logo doesn't work very well on a Glen with the bulb.
Yep.
The company that like makes all we had the same company that does it for Cask and a lot of the Breaking Bourbon. Even Breaking Bourbon had to use a square logo instead of their round logo on their website.
And who is it you use?
So we went through Melissa Makes It, but she, when she does that quantity, she goes through somebody else that can get them way cheaper. So you have to hit 72 to go through that company or they won't make them. So she would have done it, but it would have cost us $2.50 more per. And then we could have done our full logo, but.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of money for a $6 glass of whiskey or whiskey glass.
Yeah, right. So yeah, she actually redid the logo for us, to something that would work and did it for free. Pretty great. And she ships for you and all that stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Wait, is this the Melissa Shriver?
Nice shirt, by the way, Jim.
Thank you. So, Anthony,
Mike?
Yeah.
were you the one who was talking up the Pendleton Rye?
Yeah, I have the 12-year. I said,
Yeah.
it's good. Unfortunately, it's only 80 proof. And I talked to the people from Pendleton in December personally, and I said, I think it's good in its own way and for what it is. However, I think you missed the mark, and you guys need to bump that up. I say at least 90, if not 95 on this 12-year. But pretty much everything, it's a Canadian rye. So they bring it down to Oregon, I think it is. And then they age it and then break it down from there to the proof that it is. And I said, like I said, it's actually flavorful, but 80 proof just isn't my wheelhouse. I said, but it has its place on my bar, particularly for people who are new to rye or whiskey in general. I would definitely offer this. And I hate to say, if I was making some mixed drinks, I'd probably use that. But I said, you need to knock up the proof. But I said, I've got a bottle, I've shared it, and people have enjoyed it. I was like, well, that's great. That's all that counts to me.
Yeah, actually, I saw it the other day, and I almost bought it. I do have a Pendleton. This is this Pendleton Midnight, which is a blended Canadian whiskey finished in American brandy barrels. Boy, this is some weird shit.
Yeah.
Did you just go into the liquor store and say, "Give me the craziest shit you got on the shelf"? And
No,
here
I
you
mean,
go.
basically, I was going through the online inventory of one store because I knew I was going down there to get a bottle that they had. I think it was the Aaron Burns malt last year. And I was looking through what else they had. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to spend X amount of money. What fits in that box? And I saw this, and I was back and forth between this and I think the regular the 1910. And I was like, no, screw it. This sounds interesting. Let's try it. And it's really weird. I don't even know how to describe it.
You said American brandy?
It's a blended Canadian whiskey, it says right there, but it's finished in American brandy barrels.
Didn't even know American brandy was a thing.
Apparently.
I didn't either, but apparently
I watch Moonshiners, so I see American brandy all the time.
I bet you do. You have enough moonshine.
Brandy,
Hey,
you're a good
anytime
girl.
there's a character named Tickle, you gotta watch it.
Wait a minute. Did you say Tickle or Dickle?
Tickle.
Tickle.
name
with
is
a T.
Tickle.
Okay. I was gonna say.
Now, mind you, Stahl's son only watches features that involve brandy. We're not talking the whiskey or
Yeah,
alcohol.
that's right. So Ben Demon Hunter, I actually went to that distillery yesterday. It was the strangest distillery visit I've ever seen in my entire life. It's actually not, the distillery isn't called Boulder Spirits. It's called Venom Distillery or something like that. It was weird. The guy's like, yeah, you can buy bottles. Never moved a foot. Never told me where they were. Never told me what they have. Nothing. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
That's
And it was
friendly.
Boulder, so they don't do any tastings right now because COVID.
Was the guy reading a newspaper though, sitting with his legs kicked back? Yeah,
No,
buy some
he was
bottles.
standing at the end of the bar, sort of behind the bar, sort of not. Weirdest thing.
Okay,
It's and this is why no one should have you, because you're an asshole.
because you're an asshole.
Yeah, Frankie was I'm like, Frankie, either that guy doesn't work here or he's the owner, but he was fucking clueless on customer service. She was pissed. She's like, we drove all this way.
She's lucky that, or he's lucky she didn't go there and smack the shit out of him.
Dude, my wife's an army bitch. She's tough as shit.
That's what I said. And if she,
Hey man,
oh, she's-
I got up at 7 a.m. and went to the freaking car dealership to get new tires on my car on Saturday to be told, hey, yeah, we never got your order.
Yeah.
We got your appointment. And I'm like,
what?
here's my email that shows the $1,200 to the penny what I'm paying. All this is you, right? He goes, that's us. I got nothing. Let me make a phone call. Yep, still got nothing. I'll call you Monday. Cool.
Great.
I have to drive an hour and a half north and south, and I ran
Lame.
new tires before I did that.
On tires, that clearly needed to be replaced.
Yes. Mike, thanks. I definitely wanted to put 250 miles on my car when I really needed new tires.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's always
I feel like when I was a kid, tires lasted forever.
Well,
Yeah.
when I was 16 in my car, yeah, they did. But the difference was I drove them until they dry rotted, and I didn't drive on the interstate that much.
Well, you probably didn't put
that's
as
true.
many miles on your vehicle as you do now either.
No, I definitely put a lot more miles.
Did you?
Also, too, the
keep in mind,
compounds in the tires are a lot softer
Whoa.
because a lot of the vehicles are requiring the wider profile, different
Damn,
types
look at all the crap in that car.
traction and other different things. So the tires
And by
you know,
crap,
don't
you
have
mean
to
whiskey?
go after the miles.
Yeah.
And by crap,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
mean whiskey?
high school, I,
Yeah.
Fine, Jim.
I
None
actually
for
drove my
you.
car daily. I drive my car
None
like
for
once.
you, Jim.
At what point does it become interstate transit and a felony?
When he gets pulled over by
Did you
cops.
read? Did you read my screen name?
Right.
Yeah,
Let me help them out.
yeah, Shane. Pre-COVID, I drove, but post-COVID, I don't drive at all.
Yeah.
What does that say right there?
Yeah, I see it.
Riding dirty.
Oh, kind
Live
of
wire
top off
whiskey
fuel in
less than
Ohio
10.
because in Pennsylvania, fuel is $4.50 a gallon.
That's about what it
Hey,
is here in
Mike, did you
Vegas.
see this bottle? I'm
Yeah,
going to give
it's
it a
breaking
little
$4 in some places around here.
Did you see it?
No, let me see. Oh, ooh, not Riptide.
Hold on.
Is that like is that the one that's really high proof?
Look at it.
Yeah, it's cast strength single barrel Highland Bar.
65.5.
Damn, 131 proof Scotch. I just got a little chubby.
It is
I
peated
found-
by the way,
I
so-
found it at a store, and it was the only bottle they had. I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. Somebody I know is surely going to want one of
Hey,
those.
60 hertz. Cheers, brother.
I
and
keep
then-
passing on
Very
that.
fast.
I've seen it multiple times. I just didn't want to pay shipping, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was shocked that they had it.
Cohen's here.
Ooh, Cohen, that's a good looking.
Very cast strength
pick.
store pick.
I would buy that
Interesting.
pick.
Interesting.
Keep in mind, like single barrels of sherry butts are much larger than
And
bourbon.
Chucky.
He said butts.
You said Sherry's butt.
Yeah, and let
Sherry's
me
got
tell
a
you,
big old butt. I
It's a
know I
big-
told you I'd be true, but Sherry's got a big old butt. So
It
I'm
ain't-
leaving you.
All right,
Maybe.
hey Anthony, I gotta go get ready for live wire, but I just want to stop in and say
I got a bolt too.
Hey,
Thanks
buddy.
for highlighting me.
Hey, I just, you're the one there. We just got to do it. All right. We will be over here shortly. I told everybody to get ready because we got to keep the party going
Cool.
over there.
Jump over to live wire.
sounds good. See you guys. Dustin, you
Yep.
better come on.
I'll come on, Stall.
All right.
I don't know how long I'll last, but I'll come on. 'Cause I did not.
You know, funny, Jim. Every time you carry whiskey to New York or Connecticut or anything, I don't know if you know this. It's the same thing. One bottle is the same thing.
All right, fair enough. Whatever.
Hey, Ben,
And I just put in 6.5 gallons of regular fuel for $25.
little does Bourbon know that he actually broke the law going into Ohio with all the whiskey he had in his car,
Of course I did.
and probably every.
What do you mean, little do I know? Did you not read the screen name?
Top 1,500.
I mean, I guess I really shouldn't have brought you Springbank. It's all right.
Oh, well, I'm just laughing at how stupid our freaking laws are. Now, mind
And
you,
how much we care.
you know what's funny is they used to back in the day actually track cars who left party stores to see if they came into Ohio and would ticket them. And
Oh,
eventually,
fuck.
And then they realized they all did.
eventually somebody was like, I guess a politician like we're gonna stop this, and they got elected. And he was like, guys, you have to stop. Like seriously, this is not how we should be paying for our schools.
By harassing everyone who's coming to our state to do business.
Mm-hmm.
Arresting every Ohioan who comes to Kentucky because they can get stuff they can't get here.
Drinking.
And it's sad. I mean,
That dog.
it's not even a thing. Like literally, people drive who like Scotch from Cleveland to Party Source on a regular basis.
Don't everybody talk at once.
Yeah. No, I'm reading in there, but I was just going to say that we'll end the stream here in another minute, so everyone can take a little bio break, get their stuff, and then pop on over.
I got to order my Primanti Brothers. So.
Oh yeah, get that Primanti Brothers, baby.
Well, I was pausing. I'm like, I've been talking a lot. I mean, Anthony, it's his stream.
Love that Primanti Brothers. I haven't had one in probably 25 years, but that Primanti Brothers is it. Back when the only
the last time I had one was my last voyage from Kentucky.
Well, I'm just saying, when I was living back there, the only place you could get them was downtown Pittsburgh. Now they have a few places around Pittsburgh that you can actually get it. Where before they did not have any franchises, if they are franchises.
Yep, Cheech was telling me that they, what do you call it? That they have them in Florida, apparently down in Miami. There's two now.
Oh.
So
Ben, no, Fort Lauderdale. Sorry, in Lauderdale.
My cork survived.
Hold on. Let me grab that over there. There you go.
So I was told to expect this cork to break. So my corks did survive coming out of this thing. So there it works.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Told by multiple people to expect this cork to break.
Be nice to it.
Oh, trust me, I saw it splitting as I was opening it.
Oh, crap.
Well, what are the tricks you want to do when you're opening up in a vintage bottle? Little tip for anybody here. Again, this is bottled 17 years ago. It had this really, long gold foil thing here. Just remove it so you can see the cork. So you got your cork in here. So you can see it as you open it, and you just want to pull straight up until you get some movement. No twisting until you get a little movement, and then once you get a movement, and also actually, truthfully, you want to do it this way. You actually want it not like upside down, but sideways, so the liquid's pushing. And you pull until it moves. Moved. Now you can twist.
There you go.
You haven't opened a lot of these older ones. Now, mind you, I still have them break. It's not foolproof. It's not magic. But it seems to be a little better.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're going to end the stream so everyone can take their bio break, get over to Livewire Whiskey.
Sounds good.
Just wanted to say cheers, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Bourbon, if you're not frozen, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm ordering my Primanti Brothers.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You're just Ugly Mug is just frozen on our screen, and we're just all waiting for your next.
Actually, that's actually the best view I've ever seen of Bourbon. The glasses are looking good. They got a nice little.
Oh yeah.
I mean, hair's looking on fleek.
I think he had a professional headshot done, and that's it.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Hey, Dustin saw this hot mess in person today. And when are we starting to GoFundMe for Dustin to get a tan?
Oh, trust me. It did not happen.
if you think he's pale on stream.
There you go.
100% Bourbon. Trust me, I am ghostly.
Agreed.
All right, guys.
And nothing I don't know, brother.
I know.
Cheers again, everybody.
That's like me saying I'm thin.
To Livewire Whiskey. So
we're definitely not slim.
Slim.
I wasn't sure how tall you were going to be, though. I'll be honest. I was kind of like, I'm like, is this guy going to be like a 6'5" dude, just like monstrous? Or is he going to be like, 5'4" and be like that weird guy who just like. And he came out as a very average looking guy, average height.
All right, folks.
All right.
Yeah, just a little wider than average.
Sure everyone dials in over there. when you get over there, make sure you have your drinks poured and you're ready to roll. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
We'll see you again next week. Have
Like
a good
it.
night.
Yeah.